Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another installment in our series covering off every single record that has ever been held in Normal Players 1 Real-Time Attack Diablo 2 speedrunning. So we've gone through the history. This is, our 7th video now? It's been quite a journey so far, seeing the progression on the Assassin. We started out in the humble beginnings of Lav SR with his 150, 153. We progressed through to Nightfall coming on the scene and running in hardcore. Teo's appearance a couple of videos ago, just really finding his roots after coming across from the segmented scene in Speed Demos Archive, and setting the scene with his 2 hours and 15 minute, I think, or 2 hours 50 minutes, full on 100% run, killing everything through to hell, and he came on the scene, came into real-time attacks, and managed to grab a world record. Now, it was only, 2 days after that Nightfall came back and took it back off him again, as we saw in the last video. This one is really the breakthrough one for Teo. So if we bring up what we've actually got here in the Google Doc, here we go. This is the sheet that we've been working through in this whole series. We're covering off every single world record that actually has a video still. So I know that there's going to be some records, for example, some of the defunct records set by Slimer after, before he had a little breakdown and went off the scene and deleted his old records. They're not going to be in here, unfortunately. But what we do have is every single record that we can find with a video link. And right here is where we're at today. This is going to be the last Assassin appearance in the series, so make the most of it. I hope you enjoyed the last 6 videos. This is going to be the last one. If we go down to the overall history of Assassin records, you can see here, this is the one we're looking at today, Teo. It takes 3.5 years, and so this was set in February 2015, 3.5 years. It stands tall. In the rise of the entire Diablo community over that time, Mr. Llama SC coming on the scene, we got Ryu Quetzalcoatl coming on the scene, all this momentum behind the people, it still stands tall until October 2018, 3.5 years before Black Death Doom can come and supersede what Teo had done in this record run. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it too. What we saw in Teo's previous performance was the big gaps were understanding which items to pick up for gold. He was leaving a lot of heavy armors behind. He was picking up some useless things and wasting space in his inventory there, and he didn't really know his maps super well. So, this is only a week later, but you can learn a lot in a week. So I'm keen to see what he pulls through and where his massive improvements are to set that standard. Hope you are too. Let's dive into it with Teo 125.43 on the Assassin. Here we go.
Do that at least. Okay, gonna restart this real quick.
Hey, it sounds actually way better this time as well. So there we go, very nice. Starts up the Assassin, not going hardcore, not quite like Nightfall on that front, but that's okay. Yeah. Gets the quick exit to the Bloodmoor and drops his buckler because he doesn't need that. You drop your buckler because you just don't want to be wasting frames in terms of getting stuck in blocking animations, basically. And also you can get stun locked and get mobbed by enemies and die.
YouTube already, it just needs to be verified for speed demo. Okay.
There you go, and he's just making the comment there that he is the person who posted up the segmented 100% run and should get the world record for it as soon as it's verified on SDA. If you go to Speed Demos Archive right now and look at Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, that run by Teo is still there. Finds an early experience shrine.
Get some mana potions. I hope we can get some with this.
He's picked up, picks up the fulminating potion. That should give him just enough gold to buy a couple of mana potions, and that'll get him through. I wonder what he's going to do. Did he grab a stamina potion there as well? Just killing a little couple of enemies here. He's going a little out of his way to do that. That's not ideal. Gets his level up. Now he can get Fire Blast. Here we going. Fire Blast, Burst of Speed, Wake of Fire. And that'll be the key things that he wants in this run. Interesting that he ran out of town that way to an experience shrine. That's so weird. Didn't follow the path. Just went completely out of his way. I guess he wanted to level up to level 1, like so many people do with the Assassin, before he gets to the Cold Plains. That way you've got that area of effect damage before you start hitting monsters that are slightly more difficult. Gets a shrine next to the waypoint. Look at this. Look at this. Let me just bring up my drawing tools on the screen. Where am I? So, waypoint here, shrine there. He is going to be resetting and going down the tower many times to get runes later on. So he would just checking that shrine to see if he can get an experience shrine and boost up his experience gained 150% every time. So 50% bonus on that, going to be real helpful. Now, he's getting okay mobs here. Like, normally you want to get a few more ladies. Second experience shrine. Very nice.
Whatever, I take this now.
He was going to drop his town portal there. That's the first person I've seen to do the proper thing with the town portals as well, by clicking it from your inventory rather than hotkeying it. So that way you're not wasting frames in doing the casting animation. So here's a tip for you that you may not know. If you cast a town portal from like those hotkey buttons there, then it actually forces the assassin to do like a casting animation, like a... But if you actually just right click it from your inventory, no casting potion whatsoever, animation. So it's much faster, you can keep running, it's much smoother. Very nice. Unfortunately, he didn't quite throw his fire blasts early enough there, but you know, it's still pretty nice with the experience shrine there. So Rack and Issue, as we've seen, always want to target on your way through. He comes with about 8 minions, 7 to 8 minions, and because he is a unique monster, so has a bunch of minions around him and is a couple of levels higher, has that very annoying lightning enchant, he gives 500% XP. So killing one of them is as good as killing 5 other enemies. Killing 8 of them, as in the case of Rack and Issue's mob, is worth killing 5 times 8, that's 40. With an experience shrine, you get an extra 50% bonus on it. That's as good as killing 60 carvers. It's crazy. It's crazy good. Now he comes into the underground passage here, knows his map, knows it's a straight through because he was forced to run out of the starting tile that way, and the ending tile is going to be shaped this way. Now he may come into the ending tile and have to run that way, and there'll be an exit there, but the key thing is the actual tile will be facing that direction, and that gives you a huge hint. Once again, lightning enchanted archer pack. Archers aren't the best for experience, but you know, it's a boss pack. Every little bit helps. They have quite high health and resistances. There you go, exactly as I stated. Ending block that way, comes into the Darkwood, still rocking an experience shrine. This early experience he's loving it. Now he's not putting quite as much into energy this time. He started out and he put an extra 5 points into energy to help him for his mana sustain, but then he's going earlier into vitality. Previous runs we've seen runners pump up to 40 energy first before pumping vitality, so there you go, that's good to see. Now here's another boss pack.
These guys are pretty strong, so I have to be careful that they don't kill me.
He's got might enchant around. That's interesting, I've never actually seen that before. So those brutes actually said minion even though their boss was aura enchanted. So brutes also just give excellent XP, so totally worth his time killing them, especially when it's 500% XP from a boss pack. Commonly when they are aura enchanted, the minions themselves don't have the word minion under their like header there, and that's really interesting that it doesn't happen on there. Maybe it's different for animal types rather than demon or undead types. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Unfortunately gets a river in his Black Marsh, so he's really banking on the waypoint and the tower being on the same side of the river, so he doesn't have to do a lot of running around. Grabs a 1 to life armor. Honestly, he's probably definitely going to sell that later, as soon as he can. He's just freeing up the space in his inventory to do that. More archers, again, big life pool, but you know, grabs a couple of rings there, that's going to be pretty helpful. Can stock up on potions. Now this is the other big benefit of fighting boss packs. They are guaranteed the boss when killed will drop 4 potions plus a magic item. Those 4 potions is 4 potions you don't have to buy from a vendor, so it helps you gold and it helps you not waste time. Oh wow, helps you not waste time going to vendors, going back and forth all the way across town. Look at this, look how long it takes him to run from the waypoint to Akara. If he can minimize the amount he has to do this, that's going to help him a lot throughout the game. Couple of rings, that's going to help him get good gold that he can use to buy a 2-socket staff he's going to need for the rune words that he'll be running the tower over and over and over again.
2-socket staff already.
Oh, nice, and that one doesn't even have any plus to skills on it, so it is ridiculously cheap. So just keep it in his inventory. Probably going to go a dagger strategy, I think. Yep, grabs the dagger. There was a different 2-socket armor there, man. Get the other 2-socket armor. The one above it. Oh, no, actually, it was only one. Well read. Okay, he's better than me. Clearly. Alright, grabs javelins as well. Go on a javelin strat. I guess he doesn't have the strangling gas potions. We saw he was the first to use the strangling gas potion strategy last time. But since he hasn't picked them up, go on the javelins like we saw Nightfall do. And
was already lucky to get so many friends around there.
Sorry, I'm just trying to listen to what he says. Gets burst of speed with his plus to skill shrine here. That's going to help him zoom through very nicely. Gets a pretty useless rack, but that's alright. 7 minutes to burst of speed is very nice as well. Doesn't run into a boss pack there. So, yes, why did he get the dagger? Because actually, compared to a Katar, a dagger attacks in, I think it's 11 frames, whereas a Katar attacks in 12 frames. So every single time he would be throwing a fire blast or laying a wake of fire. For the assassin, her traps are actually based off attack speed, not off cast speed like you would expect from so many other characters. So if you can get a dagger or a scimitar, now scimitar you don't want to get because you have to invest extra dexterity to do it, but a dagger will get you that one extra frame. It's, what's that, 1/12 faster, so 8% faster every time you attack, and you can see how often he attacks in here. So totally worth your time upgrading to that dagger instead of a Katar. Now, why is he running the tower? Why was it so amazing that his waypoint was so close to the tower? Well, he's going to be running it over and over and over again. If you've watched literally any one of my other commentaries, you know, or if you've watched any world record runs, or if you played Diablo too a good amount, gets the strangling gas potions as well on the way. That was pretty nice. Missed the countess on the potion though. That's a bit rough. He's missed her twice. Oof. He wants to run the tower so he can get 4 runes, specifically. Tal Eth for a stealth rune word, that'll give him faster run walk, it'll give him faster hit recovery, both things critical on just about any speedrun. As well as, it gets 2 nefs, that hurts. He wants Tier Ral to put in that short staff he bought earlier. Now that was pretty nice to get it very early on. Here you go, he's checking the shrine. Gets the experience shrine. Here we go, it's Teo luck time. Continuing to pump vitality. Once he's got that base energy, he just wants vitality. He'll want 25 strength to get a belt later, but for now, that's pretty good. What was I saying? He wants the leaf room word. So he wants a Tier Ral into the short staff. That'll give him leaf. Leaf has +3 to fire skills. And that +3 to fire skills works on any character class. It's not just for sorceresses if you don't know. That is a very nice scepter. So it had plus to skills on it, to 3 different skills. That is going to give him maximum gold when he sells it to a vendor. If he sells it to a Kara right now, he'll get it 5 grand for it. If he sells it to Farah in Act 2, he'll probably get 10 grand for it. So I'm interested to see, does he hold on to it or does he just want to manage his inventory better? Probably just wants to prioritize his inventory over gold because the assassin is so OP. Now, as I was saying, 5 +3 to fire skills, sorry. So +3 to fire skills works with these assassin fire blasts. It also works with the druid. You'd see that on just about any druid speedrun. Funnily enough, it actually also works on the necromancer's corpse explosion because it does a portion of fire damage. You wouldn't have seen that coming, would you? Wasting a bit of time killing these archers here, but I guess he just really needed the potions. Although he leaves a light mana potion back there, that's weird. So yeah, really handy getting that leaf staff. Makes what is already ridiculously powerful attacks from the assassin even more powerful.
Tal Eth, Tier and Rail.
He's just explaining, needs Tal Eth Tier Rail, exactly as I've been explaining. Here in the tower, this is not great. Like, he's gotten several levels of archers, and they've been champion archers as well. So champions only give 300% experience rather than 500%. There's less of them. Usually they only spawn in packs of 2 to 3 rather than a boss pack, a unique pack, and their minions, which commonly spawn in packs of 4 to 6. So not great. And also every single one of the champions has boosted life, and you can just be sinking time into killing them. It's just worth just ignoring them, especially archers who are so dangerous. There you go. Actually gets the strangling gas potion hits off on the countess. Very nice. But gets a useless run. Like that Ith rune is, it's a third of a towel, so it's not completely useless, but that is rough.
I get the experience.
Far out. Yet another experience shrine. So this,
Oh boy.
he is rocking the experience. That is for darn sure.
Piss me off if I don't get any runes now.
Yes, I could understand. If you did not get the runes now, you would be very angry after getting this amazing start. So nicely getting into the group there. I've been criticizing the runners so far for playing it too close while they're attacking enemies. But I gotta say, that time by getting in amongst the archer group, he actually lured in those other Blood Clan and got an extra couple of kills just basically for free while he was killing the archer boss pack. So that's pretty nice. So the tower, in addition to the straight up benefits of killing the countess and getting your runes, commonly just about every level will have a boss pack of some kind on it. It'll be either champions or a boss pack, and that really helps get your levels as well, especially when he's getting these amazing experience shrine locks. Like this has got to be the start of Shrine Lock Teo, for sure. Unfortunately, he's got quite long maps in the tower here, so that is one thing to watch out for. Now, he's knowing to run left in the tower. You can see here, every single level, it's a left turn. As you're forced to exit this way, you take a left turn and hug the left turn wall on every single level. But it's just been very long maps for him, unfortunately. Quickly checks down there for the boss pack. Very nicely, actually finds it straight away. That's going to help his experience even more, but he wants to keep a bit of... Oh!
I see that he is cursed.
So, well, you should have seen he was cursed, but I could understand how you didn't see him because he was sneaking up behind the pillar there. You didn't know he was right next to you. Gets hit by the cursed goat and loses his experience shrine before he comes to the countess. That's unfortunate. The countess is pretty great herself if you can still have your experience shrine as you're coming into the countess, because she spawns with about 6 to 7 ladies around her, and they all have pretty low life, so they die pretty easy. Now, why did I say it was great that he's using the strangling gas potions? Ooh, Tyrell gets his
first two.
So that's his third run. Gets Tyrell. He needs Eth, either a towel or 2
Holy shit!
ears.
I'm lucky with this one.
That's a great call. Yes, you are incredibly lucky. Oh, Shrine Lock Teo, man. Shrine Lock Teo. Wow. Yep, so once again, left turn here. So yeah, the ladies there die very, very easily. He's using the strangling gas potions against the countess because she's fire enchanted. And enchantments give additional resistance to monsters. So she's like 70% fire resistant, which is why, you know, using Fire Blast against her on the assassin is really, really tough. You want to have a second source of damage, and strangling gas potions are a great way to do that. In previous runs, we've seen them using javelins to throw at her. Once again, he let that get very close. Cursed boss, and almost lost his XP shrine. That was lucky. I just gotta say. Wow. Unfortunately gets another champion pack. Just wants to run straight past them. That's annoying.
So
Unlucky down here, he's got like that little
F
bend there.
or a tile.
It's a shame that that tile is like, it has the door in it, because it could be the perfect slot for an L shape, but...
Kind to me.
And L shapes, of course, as we've covered in previous runs, have a guaranteed boss spawn there. But doesn't come off this time. So, what do we got? Yep, killing the Blood Clan. He's got good XP. I think he's about to get into leveling up either his burst... his Wake of Fire.
Leaf gives me +3
Or-
into all skill points, into fire skills.
Or something else.
And
Sorry.
The,
I'm just listening to what Taya's saying.
The staff gives me massive movement speed and... yeah, that's pretty much the most important thing.
So I was just saying he was using a short staff to make sure that, like, short staffs have faster attack speed than long staffs, so that's why he had to get it on a short staff. Gets a towel. This is his 4th run, so it looks like he's going to be on 5 runs. He's been picking up scepters on the way, and as I said earlier, because they've got 5 burst of speed. Okay, so he's going much heavier into burst of speed than we saw Nightfall do.
god! Holy shit. Okay. I will never be so lucky with the shrine again. So
Yeah.
please,
Okay. I can see how this run stood up against the test of time. Like, literally every time experience shrine. And now I can see also why guys like Mr. Llama and stuff always used to check their shrines every time, just in case they could get a run like this. This has been crazy. Ditches. He's got to ditch the javelins. Don't ditch your gas potions, man. Oh my gosh. So anyway, he's going 5 burst of speed. So he's prioritizing run speed over damage. And when he's got this great experience, I can't fault him for it at all. He just wants speed, man. He just wants speed. So zooming through, once again, gets a useless level with just champions.
Skill shrine, however.
And... Ooh boy, yeah. What a run. Once again, really gets the boss pack. So just going to continue pumping vitality. He's got to pump strength at some point. I wonder if he's just going to wait until he beats... There you go. Puts in the strength. Saw it coming. Psychic, I tell you. Because he wants to get a belt, a proper belt, not a light belt, not a sash, a full-on, just a straight-up thing called a belt. Because that gives him 3 rows of potions, and that'll help him just carry more, manage his inventory better. Rare scepter, that's going to be good gold as well. This guy, wow, what a run. He's going to be set for gold. He's going to be, oh, there you go. He's going the javelin strategy. So this must be another insight.
Okay.
Oof. Looks like he's going to be, 6.
Let's see, I just wanna check these by 2. Just gonna run down there.
So he's feeling like he's over leveled at this point. So he's not really focused on killing all the boss packs along the way anymore. So he's not desperate for the XP shrine anymore.
These guys are scheduling too much.
And just going straight for the kill. So yeah, he should not have ditched that strangling gas potion earlier, but I guess at this point in speedrunning, they hadn't figured out that you can sell a potion to a vendor and buy it back and it'll have its quantity fully restored. So that's interesting. That's a great insight as well. That's why we watch these runs, to learn these kind of development things as to how strategies evolved over time, what the runners learnt, etc., etc. So as you can see, he's just zooming down to the countess as quick as he can. He really wants to salvage this run because he's been getting unlucky with runes. Very similar to his 136 run. He got very unlucky with runes. Took him 6 runs or so to get to the countess. Once again, cursed. He's coming across a lot of cursed boss packs. Gets his level up. This will give him his Wake of Fire, surely. Whatever, grabs leather gloves because he's just trying to get the potions. Once again, you just don't want to be spending time buying potions off vendors, so he's doing really well on that side. Groups up all the minions away from the countess. That's unfortunate. Not quite ideal running on the countess there, but you know, you do what you can so you don't die. And gets exactly what he needs. Gets the Eth rune, gets, you know, spare tears for days. Is he going to use the spare tears in a helm for the mana per kill? Who knows? Look at that gold, 14k straight up. So he needs tier ral. No, he's not keeping excess tier runes for mana per kill. That is another potential loss there. Because if he chucked one of them into that helm, that could have helped him a lot. Does he have a spare? How many spare ral runes does he have? I think he's got 1 spare ral rune. So he could have put tier ral into a helm, and that would have given him mana per kill, as well as fire resistance, which he needs, but just ditches the tier rune for gold instead. Minor optimization there. Every single run, even in these perfect runs, even in this run that stood the test of time for 3.5 years, with this amazing shrine luck, there are still optimizations to be had. There you go. What do we got?
This won't give much money.
I don't think he picked up that rare scepter earlier either, so that was missed gold. Just running across the Tamo. Tamo is always directed this way, so the ending tile for the outer cloister is always shaped in the exact same way. Well, the monastery gate, sorry, I always mess that up. It's such a weird thing to have the monastery gate be its own distinct area. Outer cloister, here we go. He's got the 4 things, so it's a left turn where the outer cloister is shaped like that, and the waypoint is up here. You know to go that way. If it had a cross in the middle, and the waypoint was close to the cross, it's straight through. If it was down here, it's a right turn. So that's just a little hint on the outer cloister how to read that quickly. Gets cursed as he comes in here, but does nicely find a boss pack as soon as he comes in. Barracks is often quite good for getting levels. I must have misread his levels. I thought he was level 12 already. He must only be level 11. And needs that 1 extra point to get into Wake of Fire. Chip Topaz, is he going to go a Magic Vine Helm? We'd see that these days, but I somehow doubt it back in those days. That's
no,
for sure.
I can't use Mappack. Why would I?
Chat asking him whether he uses Map Hack. No, we do not use Map Hack. There are no add-ons whatsoever in these kind of runs. Now, additionally, as I talk through every single one of these runs, I'm given the hints. I'm given the hints on how to read the maps. Leaves a superior scepter behind. There you go. He'll grab it for some gold. That'll help him keep a bit of sustain later in the game too. Continuing to run on through the barracks. Unfortunately, this is quite a long barracks. He's wasting time on rogues when he should just be moving on. But I guess he's pretty close to getting Wake of Fire, so maybe you just want to get that so you can set and forget as you run on.
I'm gonna take this.
Finds the Malice.
Maybe I can
First guy.
use some boots later.
He's the first runner I've seen to actually bother with the Malice. Normally when they run into that room, they just leave it behind. So let's see. If he imbues boots, he can get faster run walk on it, and that'll help him even more. Because it's not actually technically it's diminishing returns, but the calculation is done separately for burst of speed, movement speed, and faster run walk, versus gear faster run walk. So while you get the 25% faster run walk on stealth, it is not added to the faster run walk you get from your burst of speed. It is like multiplied on top of it. So you'll get, I don't know, say a 50% movement speed boost from burst of speed, maybe 30%. That will then be multiplied again by 1.25 to give you, what's a quarter of 30%?
Or
7? So you get 37% faster move speed instead of just being added on in a certain way. So yeah, you get pretty big boost
I
overall.
feel it. Damn it. And some mana potions.
Or maybe it's actually added together and then applied, but they're all added separately. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just remember it's really good having faster run walk gear separate on top of your ability as a assassin with burst of speed. Now, I completely neglected to talk through the jail maps there. Jail level 1 and 2 are straight through maps. This one here is a left turn map, so he wants to be going up here. So, whatever. I'm sure you can get your map hits from every other video I'll post on jail level 1 and 2. Grabs the potions with that quick kill. He's got his Wake of Fire now. That's going to be helping me out quite a bit.
I think I'm gonna be a little slower than my previous best time.
He's actually been doing very well in terms of not needing to use too many stamina potions either. That's a thing that's been burning other runners along the way. Doesn't come across a boss pack in the Cathedral. That's a bit of a miss, unfortunate. What's he going to get in the Catacombs level 1 here? Blocked is what he's going to get. Lovely. So, coming down, is he going to get a quick exit? Gets a quick exit in Catacombs level 1. There's no defined way to run it. And he's starting out on the left-hand side. He wants to run this way in the Catacombs level 2, because from the waypoint, it's a right turn to the exit. So either you're going to find the exit first, or you find the waypoint first, and have a huge hint on how to run next time. Finds the exit first, and straight into level 3. That's awesome. Not wasting time, not cartographering in this area. Gets blocked again by the Tainteds, but fortunately they are mostly resistant to lightning, not fire. So, but unfortunately they were fire enchanted, so that missed out. and straight into Catacombs level 4. His time here is amazing. I gotta say, like, although compared to his previous benchmark time, he's not actually that much better. Has to waste a little bit of time getting potions from Akara. Probably should have just run out here and seen what boss packs were there, because commonly there'll be about 2 boss packs in here. But it pays off for him in the end anyway, because there were no boss packs in level 4 other than Andariel herself. That is incredibly rare. So, you know what? That run back to town was definitely worth his time. Now, he could be doing a bit better stopping and using...
This drop sucks.
using Fire Blast a bit more.
I can find a
but, yeah.
2-socket helm from her.
Looking for a 2-socket helm to put something into. Probably that spare... Oh no, he's got 2 spare rail runes, I think. So that's going to give him amazing fire resistance. You want the fire resistance for Act 3 and Act 4 for any enemies that do Inferno, because Inferno just shreds your HP. Wasn't lucky in getting a good set of drops from Andariel. Didn't get faster run walk boots from her at all. Surprising he didn't buy some boots to imbue. Like, he's level 12. You start getting the chance to get faster run walk at that stage, so I'm surprised he didn't do that while he was wasting time trying to shop chassis. And didn't get a belt either. That hurts. That's just unlucky with vendors.
Helmet, but whatever. That and use the stealth glitch.
Nice, using the stealth glitch as he runs out here. So the stealth glitch, essentially, if you put Tal Eth in an armor that you are already wearing, for up to 90 seconds, you will get a faster run walk benefit. Basically, as long as nothing happens to recalculate exactly how fast your character should be moving.
The biggest run killer is the Chaos Sanctuary, and...
Oh, nice. Gets the second way exit from the rocky waste there. That's pretty nice into the dry hills. So not perfect, not as good as we saw Nightfall get yesterday, but still pretty great.
Chaos
So,
Sanctuary is actually the worst.
as I cover off every time here, Act 2 maps are shaped. The desert maps are big squares. You come in and out in the rocky waste, you can get a fast exit, or you can get, you know, exits basically in the corners there, and you can be spending all time running around and waste a whole heap of time just running around the map. Now, oftentimes there are actually cut-ins, and if you see a cut-in, basically just give up. Don't run around here hoping that it'll cut back. It won't, okay? Just spend straight run across here. Don't waste the time. The extra 20 seconds running up there, it's a waste of time. So let's see how he goes here in the dry hills. He's running around the whole map. He needs to find Halls of the Dead, preferably a waypoint on the way, so he can just go back to the Halls of the Dead and just keep pushing on. Finds a well, finds the Halls of the Dead.
A bug with the ancients.
He hasn't gotten a Tome of Town Pete.
Just that they can
that surprises me.
Items, so, or they always have items, and sometimes they
Yep. So that was a corner cut in.
100% fire
Just is going to have to go down again. Oh no, this looks like a 3/4 map actually. So this particular one is like shaped like that, and he ran in, and there's actually a wall all the way around here, so he had to go up the stairs and around. So yeah, he's still running too close to the walls, I gotta say. Like, it surprises me how many runners are doing this. Basically running right on the wall. That way he's like minimizing the chance of finding the waypoint, because all this space up here, like all that space in there, is just taken up on your screen
That one will help me.
by like nothingness. So if you run away from the wall, so it's just on the edge of your screen, you're maximizing the exploration of the rest of the map. Gets an experience shrine out here in the Far Oasis. Once again, this is the dawn of Teo having the experience shrine as a symbol for him. This is great to see. And in the Far Oasis especially, he's had beetles spawn here, as we've said every other time. Beetles are amazing for experience. They give you good experience, and they have low life, so they just die. They die like that. So
That one, I want the waypoint first.
and gets the waypoint right next to the Maggot Layer. That is very nice, especially when he's already dropped a town portal next to the Halls of the Dead. Now he doesn't have to run back all the way across the map. He can just go straight to there. Gets a 2-socket armor, helm that he wanted desperately. Yeah, he did have the 2 rail runes, so I guess I can see why he didn't do the tier rail in his helm, but it still feels like a miss to me. Like you can manage Chaos and Act 3 with only one rail rune, for sure. I mean, we later on see people manage it with no rail runes. In the early runs we saw people manage it with no rail runes. So, you know, whatever. Alright, Halls of the Dead, all Act 2 maps. As you enter these tombs, just imagine them as an inverted T, left turn. If you imagine them as a regular T, it's a right turn. But, so he'll be looking for, where's my cursor? A block that ends like that, because that's the way that it looked when he first ran in. Here we go, here's the exit tile. Now this one, once again, inverted T, he'll be exploring this side for a block that ends like that. And quickly gets it. That's a nice quick exit on level 2. Cruising down level 3, same thing again, inverted T, boom, this side. What do we got? Has to run around a little bit. Doing a bit of inventory management along the way. Runs into a dead end, unfortunate. So what it's going to be is going to be up here and to the left, presumably. Unless it was a wraparound, but I didn't see any walls on the potential wraparound, so I think he should be okay on that front. What do we got? Running on up. He's not really getting... Like, Halls of the Dead are actually pretty average for experience. You never get beetles in here. You just get lots of skeletons. Skeletons aren't good experience. So you just want to be getting through the Halls of the Dead as quick as possible, basically, is the summary here. Here we go. He will
What the?
grab a cube, grab a ring,
I don't have any TPs.
and save and quits back. It's the first time. Finally someone does it. Finally someone does it. They saved and quit rather than wasting time with the town portal and went back to Act 1 and used the waypoint. So this is the first, another first for this run. There we go.
Let's see.
Alright, up to Droggy. Finally buys that Tome of Town portal
Here we go.
and stocks up on town portals. I made the comment earlier. I didn't know it was going to come to burn him, but I suspected. Here we go, Maggot Layer. Maggot Layer is one of the few areas that is a defined right turn map, unless you think of those T's as regular T's, not inverted T's. So he will be forced to run out this way from that first tile. He will be looking for a tile that's shaped like that because it is a right turn from his entrance direction. So that's why he's hugging this wall over here, trying to get that right turn. Definitely seems to have learnt a lot in the last week since he first got a world record, because he is very confident in running these maps now. So there we go. Running on up. Unfortunately, a little bit of a long Maggot Layer level 1 here, so that could be better for him. It's not the worst so far, but it is, in the scheme of things, on the worst side of average.
So much.
He's just got itches in the way, so at least they die very quickly and he's less likely to get blocked by them. There you go, there's the exit tile. Now he's being forced to run this way. We'll be looking for an exit down here. Get some beetles, gets a beetle boss pack as he comes into an open space. That's pretty handy. Maggot Layer is pretty rough in terms of just running through because you get blocked, and Wake of Fire is not very good in these tight corridors. Similarly, in the Arcane Sanctuary, Wake of Fire is pretty much useless on those stairs, and we'll talk to that later. So by finding the boss pack in an open area there where Wake of Fire actually worked, pretty nice. Yeah, here we go. So he's continuing to head down. Once again, on the average side, like on the worst side of average, is the length of these maps.
I'm freezing actually, my hands are pretty cold right now.
So here we go.
It's really painful.
Continuing to push through. Drops an L rune, why not? I do wonder, since scimitars are quite fast, like with the 15 IAS, actually get him another breakpoint for casting. I guess he wants his tier rune in his staff for the mana per kill, exactly as I've explained several times here.
About the temperature.
So, Maggot Layer level 3,
Just tuned into that.
straight through map. So unlike level 1 and 2, it's always in this direction. It never reorients. It's always going to be on this top wall here. So he wants to be running that way. Comes into Cold Worm pretty quickly. So that's a nice balance out to level 1 and maybe level 2. Grabs a Star for Kings, picks up an armor for good gold. Any armors that are made of metal, you want to pick them up and sell them for gold. So actually that's good decision making there by Teo. Seems to have learnt another little bit from earlier. Now you'll just see him continue to put points in vitality for the rest of the run. That's actually pretty nice that the waypoint was pretty close to the exit there as well. So minimal rerunning of areas. That's going to be pretty nice. Is the Marauder fire enchanted? No, spectral hit. So spectral hit's going to be slightly resistant to fire. I think it gives like 25 or 30 resistance to basically all elements, but gets through them pretty quickly. And he's doing the nice set and forget strategy. I don't think he did the quick check, but he's banking on the fact that he can run back from the waypoint if he gets lost up here. So if he gets up here and he checks all this side here, the top side of the map, and there's no exit there, he can just go back to the waypoint and run in. But he gets the second best exit here from the Lost City into the Valley of Kings. Drops his armor because he just doesn't want it. What are you doing, man?
Gonna sell this later.
What are you doing? Okay. There we go.
Not really doing many quests. 5 just.
So here we go. Inverted T. That's the way he wants to go. Quickly drops a couple of Wake of Fires in what he ran into being a dead end there. Don't know why he did that when he could have just kept running left. But whatever. Here we go.
I can't do this mid my run. That's just slowing me down.
We'll kill Fangskin on the way.
It's too quiet. I'm gonna fix it after this run.
And just
turn up your audio device, please.
Yep. Nothing to it. Just grabs the staff and the head of the amulet. We'll transmute them. Didn't transmute them before talking to Drognan. Okay. Might need to redo that, but anyway, we'll see if it still works or not. It's always a bit of a risk. Oh, it looks like it worked. Kaelin's walked out of the way now. So that's okay. Comes into the harem level 1, taking the Mr. Llama way. Or the common way.
Sorry for that.
Run him just down across. Is he gonna... Yep. Gets the nice, very nice straight through harem level 2. Sometimes you have to weave around a little bit in there. While they look like static maps, the position of the doors changes from time to time. So that's actually, 3 seconds saved. 3 seconds is 3 seconds though. Every second counts in a speedrun. That's why we, worry about using a dagger instead of a guitar.
That was quite some damage.
Ooh boy. Alright. So he's got 4 Fire Blast. Otherwise pumped it into Burst of Speed. Gets a nice boss pack of Erders here, or whatever you call them. I'll never see it now because didn't get to see it. And that guy was a unique monster name. Not going to bother with Fire Eye because Fire Eye is fire enchanted and it's just going to take too long to kill him. And there we go. He's not going the top left direction. He is going the straightaway direction. So has picked that incredibly well. Frankly, I don't know how he picked that straight up. Like, you couldn't actually tell this was the straightways direction without running into a particular way first. So just randomly choosing bottom right. We'll see if it pays off for him, eh?
Well, faster run walk boots would be awesome.
Still not picking up the heavy armors, and he still hasn't taken up his imbue yet. So he's just complaining now that faster run walk boost would help him a lot. You've got an imbue at chassis, man. You could have done it earlier. Anyway. So here we go. The reason you want to go the straightaways area here in the Arcane Sanctuary, so like that, where it's shaped like that, and then it just keeps going on, is because it has no stairs. And as I mentioned earlier, no stairs means your Wake of Fires are always going to be effective in how you use them. So we'll see if he gets a first way. You can't pick which way it's going to be in the Arcane Sanctuary. It's just completely random. And does get a first way. Wow.
Split second, and this was the wrong way.
That
pissed me off a little. Holy shit, this time.
that's crazy. Like, honestly, that's crazy. To just randomly pick the bottom right, for it to be immediately the straight ways, exactly the way you want to run on the assassin, and for it to be a first way. Insane. Beetle's out there in the Valley of Kings, also pretty nice. Once again, inverted T.
That would be a nice...
He wants to run that way and be hugging this wall. He's been leaving the heavy armors behind still, which is just annoying me, but never mind that.
But it won't happen.
Gets Beetles in his tomb.
Really.
That's going to be awesome for experience. He just wants to get that level, so he's got stealth working for Duriel, so he can help evade Duriel even more. No, he has invested the time in learning his maps. He knows that double T, the double cross, where it's facing that way, is always a dead end. So doesn't quite get his luck on this front, and that somewhat offsets the luck he had in the Arcane Sanctuary, but not nearly. Like, a first way in an Arcane Sanctuary is saving you a couple of minutes. That is enormous. And, you know, this helps him with his leveling a bit as well. Shame that it got the Gore Belly boss pack instead of the Beetles being a boss, but, you know, that's alright. So continuing to hug that. Grabs a well just for the quick heal and mana restore, and running on up. This should be the exit off this tile here, surely. Yep, here we go. He still hadn't transmuted the stuff, that's funny. We'll go to town as that animation cycles through. Doesn't matter if you're in town or not, like, you leave your town portal there, it's going to keep running the processing in the background, and this is a great opportunity, since it's just dead time waiting for the animation to roll, to stock up on potions. So we'll grab a few thawing potions here. They give...
Oh no, I take this.
Yeah, you wanted that, man. 20 fire res is huge help. Thawing potions, as he drinks them, that's going to give him an additional 50 fire resistance, cold resistance, for 30 seconds each. So he's just drank 3 of them. That's a minute and a half worth of cold resistance here again in the fight against Duriel, so he's taking much less damage from that holy freeze aura. Just running in circles against Duriel here. It's going to be a long time before we see the Duriel bug where you just get him running against a wall, so not too concerned about that. And is he finally going to get that run walk off Duriel? Who knows? I suspect he's never actually going to use that imbue that he picked up earlier at this point in the run. If he hasn't gone back and done it when he was like shopping for socket gear and stuff earlier,
which I have no use for.
He's never going to do it. I call that now because I'm hoping to get burned by my own comments and he will actually get faster run walk boots. Who knows?
Stop it.
There you go. Doesn't get faster run walk boots.
Give me some space, please.
Just picking up all the stuff he can for gold.
That one as well. Ooh, that was
here
brilliant.
we
Back to
go.
2.
So 5 minutes ahead of his previous time. That is
Can keep this up.
That is amazing. Like, just those optimizations from getting the first way arcane rather than second way like he got in his previous run. And Nightfall actually got a third way in the previous world record we covered off. As well as...
Damn it. I'm stuck up.
and he forgot to talk to Jaren. Oh no. Oh no.
On the wrong way. Don't hide me. Please. Don't.
Pretty good
jinx
maps
it.
in terms of the desert areas, and stumbled across the waypoints and the actual dungeons themselves quite close to each other in exactly the right order he wanted. So that's 5 minutes right there. Just not having to recover ground in those deserts, not getting fourth way exits on each of the desert tiles. First way arcane. Amazing. So as he comes here into the spider forest, there's 3 little offshoot areas. Let's see if he gets the spider cavern first, because you don't want to be wasting roughly 30 seconds to a minute running into an offshoot area, then having to run all the way out if you just find the waypoint or a dead end. second thing that he definitely wants is to get a skip of the Great Marsh. So he just wants to be able to run straight past and go into the Flayer jungle off the Spider Forest, not into the Great Marsh, and then have to run through the Great Marsh into the Flayer jungle. Because these Act 2 layouts, they're shaped like 6 tiles, and you can get
That's the wrong one.
exits here at about tile 3, exits here at about tile 5, or it can continue straight on from tile 6. And what he wants is to have it so it's like Great Marsh, Flayer jungle, or Great Marsh, Flayer jungle, or Great Marsh, Flayer jungle, rather than having to go, especially the longest possible way. Gets the dead end on the first try, that's unfortunate. Having to go through 6 tiles up to Great Marsh, and then 6 tiles Flayer jungle. Like, that's the worst you can get.
You jinxed it.
And gets the dead end in here as well.
This one.
Whew, okay. So he's got to catch up somewhere on that as well. So that cost him a little bit of time. Will he get the Great Marsh skip? Who knows? He's got to be about 4 tiles in now. So will he get the double off, where it's Great Marsh and Flayer jungle, or will he have to run through the Great Marsh?
Actually.
Let's see. So here we go, coming into the Spider Cavern, tucked away in the corner. So that is one little optimization he could have done when he ran into the area with the Arachnid Layer and the waypoint. He could have left a town portal at the exit to that little area, taken the waypoint, and then gone through the town.
That was close.
Holy cow, extra strong Cursed is gonna hurt. Smoke Sphere is gonna give him some amazing gold. He'll just ditch the Jade Vicarine. You don't need that. I haven't seen anyone do that quest since Love in the first world record or second world record that we did. So not really worth your time. And gets a Marsh skip. So that's it. It must have been, that looks like about the 5th tile up. Must have been up here.
That was
Marsh,
sadly,
jungle. Wow, that's amazing.
No, it's not hardcore, but it's still unfortunate if I die.
Yeah, if he died back there, like while he's saying it's not hardcore, like if he died, he hadn't dropped a town portal anyway, so he would have had to run through those entire 5 tiles of the, or maybe it was a 6 tiles of the Spider Forest to get where he was going. So I think out here was the marsh.
That's the wrong way.
And then the jungle was up here. So that's lucky. Once again, doesn't get the offshoot area first though. He's had to check 2 areas so far to try and get to the Flayer dungeon and hasn't found them. Fortunately, didn't go too far into there before he realized that, so maybe that was a 10 to 20 second time loss,
but at least I don't have to go
rather than 30 minutes to, 30 seconds to a minute. But yeah, leaving behind heavy armors yet again, still not prioritizing those heavy armors for gold. I mean, it is a benefit of the sorceress, of the assassin over the sorceress, that you're not spending all this time buying heaps and heaps of mana potions. So that will give you a big advantage, and you don't have to focus on picking up those heavy armors to keep yourself sustained. But let's see how he goes. Actually doing the Jidbin quest this time. We've seen other folks not really doing that. While he waits for that boss to load, he does a bit of inventory optimization, grabs the Gidbin, leaves the breastplate on the ground. I'm still disgusted by that.
Till I get the next waypoint.
Quickly checking up the top side for an exit. I would personally not have done that, but it pays off for him. So there you go. Wow. And he's got he's not in level 19 yet, so he doesn't have the massive fire resistance from the helm, so he still has to play it somewhat carefully around the shamans. But with the assassin, because you've just got that far-reaching distance of the Wake of Fire, he's able to play it safe. Now he's just running straight on through the Flayer jungle. He's left his town portal there, back near the Flayer dungeon, and we'll be hoping to get a waypoint just as he runs on his way through Lower Kurast, or the Kurast Bazaar, or alternatively Upper Kurast. And if he still doesn't get it, then I guess he can run all the way to Shravinkle and grab that.
Please, a waypoint.
There you go. He's begging for the waypoint to come along and save his bacon. Here we go. Grabs a fire resist shrine. That'll help him be... fire resist shrine, if he gets the waypoint right now, that will help him a lot in...
Okay, these guys. Okay. I have enough mana.
I guess he's like that close to level 19 that he still wants to spend time getting that. Yeah, the fire resist shrine, sorry, I keep getting distracted, would really help him in the Flayer dungeon because it's such tight quarters. That's where you really want that fire resistance.
That's what I want.
Because you're so close, you can't avoid the shamans like I was talking to earlier. The assassin's usually pretty good because you can keep good distance with your traps, but
It's not me.
mana per kill ring, you know, it's not the best, doesn't give him good resistances. He'd be pretty happy, he would be astonishingly happy with that on a sorceress, but on the assassin, you know, mana per kill, it's good. It'll save him mana potions when he gets to the chaos, that's for sure. So he's still got the fire resist shrine as he comes in here. Left turn in the Flayer dungeon, so the tile will be here, the exit will be over this one here. Here we go. Gets his level 19, now he's got his leaf staff working. His fire resist from his helm is also kicking into gear right now, so he is set. Basically just running through this dungeon. He's going to get to about level 19 and a half. He will gain half a level in the Chaos Sanctuary, so he's looking pretty set in terms of the experience that he needs as well. Once again, Flayer dungeon, left turn, has been forced to run out of the thing this way, so he will be looking for the exit tile on this side. The tile sets in the Flayer dungeon are actually pretty limited, so basically as soon as you see yourself running that way, you know exactly where the exit is going to be. Like, just run this a few times, you'll know it. You can keep in mind the left turn rule, but generally you actually know exactly what the map is going to be. Here we go. He has absolutely memorized this level 3 map as well. Wow. Just in 1 week, he has revolutionized his knowledge of maps in this game. So you can tell he's spent the time playing the game and studying the game to become a master, and it has paid off. It has paid off big time. So there you go, that's the benefit. And he had the waypoint right next to the sewers. What is going on? Like, this is huge. Okay, so he's running the sewers clockwise, so he started here and is running up around this edge, and then we'll run around this way. Hopefully he finds it before doing a full loop, that's for sure. But if he finds a chest, so a golden chest, I'll just draw a little chest for you here. He can know that the exit will be a right turn from the chest to the stairs down to level 2. And that's why you want to run it clockwise, because once again, if you find the chest first, you know exactly which way to turn. Otherwise, you're slightly more likely to actually find the exit first. Quickly drops a few traps there at what's his face, Coldwing, I think it is. The super unique boss there, kills a couple of the minions as he runs around just to get that little bit of extra experience. Will he pick up the breastplate? Of course he won't.
Maps you can't predict that.
Even though he had the perfect space in his inventory for it. Gets blocked in as he's doing some inventory management. That was lucky.
Wouldn't have been the biggest deal, but would have been annoying. At least a little bit.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a huge time loss if he lost it there. Simply because he would have had to run all the way across Upper Kurust when he was so close to the exit there. But I don't know, maybe it would have cost him 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Should be fine, I think, actually.
So he's over halfway there in his experience. He is going to be totally fine to hit level 20. Shouldn't really be worrying too much about killing any enemies whatsoever anymore, like going out of his way, because even though you can just set and forget traps with the assassin, every time you cast, what's that, 10 frames out of 25, so it's, yeah, I don't know, a third of a second wasted, and you can just spend a surprising amount of time laying traps. I've called this out several times so far. You don't need to actually kill every single one of the members of the council when you're in single player, unlike Battle.net. You can just continue straight on down into the Durance without worrying about killing them all. So on Battle.net, you have to kill them all in order to be able to take town portals into the Durance of Hate. And here we go. So level 1 in the Durance, it's a left turn out.
Okay, if I kill them, I should be fine on experience.
And level 2 is a straight. He didn't really need to kill the gallberry bellies there. He was complaining about experience, but honestly, he would have been totally fine. Yep, level 2 is a straight through map, so he will be looking for the exit tile there. He didn't hug the left direction there. He's hugged the right a little bit, and that. Anyway, if he went left, left is going to be the waypoint. So that's the key thing there. That's why he didn't go left. He went and sort of tried to hug the outside edge there. Level 3, static map, you know what you're doing. He's not going to moat trick Mephisto. He's just going to try and capture, runs along the edge there to make sure that Maffa Daggerhand gets caught in the corner while he tries to chase him, rather than coming out, because those council members can actually heal Mephisto. Almost ripped. Whoops. So, yeah, Assassin, you just want to drop like 2... Okay, he's dropping Wake of Fires with an astonishing frequency here that he doesn't really need to do. He could give it a little bit of a break between there. But that's more like it. So drop 2, run, drop 2, run, drop 2, run. That's how you want to do it. Honestly, you probably want to just drop 1, run, 1, run, run, run. And while he's just in town, he's going to come across here and get a cold... Cold Mercenary. That's going to help him out in fighting a Grand Vizier of Chaos, one of the seal bosses that you have to beat to unlock Diablo, because, well, he's back in town already, and Grand Vizier of Chaos is immune to fire, so the Assassin's fire traps are useless against him, and a Cold Mercenary will be quite helpful in managing that fight. Now, these days we see people just go with Act 2 Mercenaries instead of those casters, simply because the speed of attacking on a guy jabbing rather than casting, and those casting guys can be very annoying in terms of, like, they have to reposition and cast and blah blah blah. But so far in every single one of these assassin runs, we've been seeing them use the Cold Mercenary, and I guess this world record stands for like 3 years, so it's going to be that way for a long time in the assassin world record. Sells, he's got good gold.
Diablo.
Is he going to get the quick exit from the outer steps? Like, this has been insane in terms of how this has gone so far. Aside from going into the wrong offshoot areas in the Act 3,
Shit, that map was awesome.
like the marsh skip, everything else was just amazing. Doesn't get the quick exit, so the outer steps are shaped like this. You like come out of town, you can get an exit here, you can get an exit here, which is just gotten, or you can get an exit here. So I really wanted that, but instead gets the second way. A little bit of a time loss, but not too bad. Coming through the Plains of Despair, he's not going to bother with Iswal. Like, Iswal's life pool is just too big to be worth it for just the +2 to skills. There you go. Pretty quick exit to the City of the Damned from Plains of Despair, so that nicely offsets the second way on the outer steps, and now he's just got to be running around here hoping to come across the City of the Damned exit to the River of Flame as quick as he can. Here you go. That's actually pretty quick. Grabs the waypoint just as a bit of a safety. That's cost him like 5 seconds, whatever. He'll be fine. He's had enough close calls that I can't fault him for wanting to get a waypoint when he is 7 minutes ahead of the world record. When you're 7 minutes ahead, you just want to be able to guarantee it. Like, as long as you can get through the game, it is probably worth that safety.
Holy shit. Act 3 under an hour. Awesome. Check down here first. That might be actually the right way.
So... just, yeah, kind of an average length River of Flame. Just got to weave through, and this is what the Assassin Burst of Speed is so good for, is just weaving through all these enemies. It was pretty tight back there. That's the trouble with the River of Flame, because it can get quite narrow and there are quite a few monsters. You can get stuck there when you don't want to be spending any time killing monsters whatsoever. So he has just read that fork. And there's a slight tip that you can get there. I'll see if I can dig it up. Probably can't. There's a video you can find on YouTube telling you which way to run at those three-way forks where it's like that. And it's a dead end. There's a fire here, and if it's like popping or something, you know to go left. No, you know to go right, but if it's not popping and it's just a static fire, you go left. So he's read that pretty well as well. Yeah, Teo's map. His map reading progression in the space of 1 week really surprises me. I just, like, especially in these early days when there weren't that many resources around it. This is an impressive run. Coming up on. Nicely doesn't get blocked on the chaos there. Sees a few bad guys there. Will drop some Wake of Fires. Just tries to lure them out past the little choke point. Nicely does it. Not spending his time killing them, as we previously saw Nightfall and himself do. So that was a very nice lure, getting them down out of the way. Now you can see he's almost level 20. And he's just made the comment that he wants that extra skill point when he's so close to level 20. So just wants to push it. And is not afraid to kill a few extra enemies, superfluous enemies that he doesn't really need to worry about. Ooh. So he's done the exact appropriate strategy, like trying to lure Infector along with him as he goes towards Grand Vizier. Not Grand Vizier, Lord Desace.
Coming, please.
But that was like he almost got trapped back there. So I mean, he's got great fire resistance. What has he got? He's got 2 rails, so that's 60 plus that 25. Like he's maxed on fire resistance. So I guess getting trapped in there wouldn't have been the worst, but still, like that was a close call just weaving through there. It's one of those hidden skills when you first start watching Diablo speedruns. You don't appreciate how close you get to getting like just trapped and blocked by enemies and needing to run around and weave your way through them is a huge skill in and of itself, and this is very well played. It's the skills we saw Teo have back in his previous debut on the world record ranks, and here we go.
Don't want to die.
So see there, he was getting blocked, was like nicely weaving them back and getting them to reposition so he would have a channel through as he comes through to spawn Lord Desace and kill Infector while he is at it. So very nicely done. Now the reason that Infector takes so long is he's like 70% fire resistant, so exactly the same as the Countess, but because he's extra fast you can't just tank him, and you don't really have any good potions to use at this point, like strangling gas potions. I guess choking gas potions might be helpful, but they still don't do very much damage at all. They kind of lose their usefulness at the end of Act 3. So it's just a matter of spending the time killing him, basically.
That went really well.
Gets decrepified, that's not a big deal, you just got to keep running. Doesn't get a good shrine here. Would have been hoping that would be either a skill shrine or a fire shrine to use on Diablo. Like fire shrine would be amazing because fire shrines strip half of the remaining HP of monsters around, so if he could have saved that for Diablo it would have been huge, but unfortunately just gets a combat shrine. You know, if he were to be a barbarian he would absolutely love that, but no. So once again, great enemy management, just getting into the choke point, luring the enemies out to get them to reposition himself so he can have a channel to run through. This is only the, third time in the run he's had to go back to town for potions when he hasn't had to go back to town for other reasons, so that's pretty great. Got plus to combat skills on that bone shield, so that was pretty good gold in and of itself. I just look at the gold price. Like the prices of potions here, 250 for a greater. Yeah, okay, he was only buying regular mana potions. That's good. Only 250 gold for a greater healing potion. When he gets to Act 5, that's going to be 500 gold. So stocking up on potions here, you'll probably want to do that after his Diablo kill rather than doing it at Mala. Even though he's got 60k, you burn through potions surprisingly fast.
I'm gonna get the Merce now.
So now he's killed all the enemies around. His mercenary is not liable to die, basically.
Let's him do the job. Can hit harder.
And grabs the shrine just to clear the curse off himself so he can keep running around. Positions himself in between Grand Vizier and the mercenary so that they are... Grand Vizier is attacking him, not the mercenary, basically. Doesn't pick up the rune now, surprises me. And that's the first time, like, when we watched the Nightfall speedruns, Nightfall was just standing there tanking the whole time. He wasn't attacking, so Teo doing that extra bit of just whacking him with his staff, it probably saved his mercenary like one cast. And you know what? That actually does make an important difference. That's like 3 to 4 seconds saved. So, as I say, these things seem very small in isolation, but you just do so much in a Diablo speedrun that those 3 to 4 second optimizations really do add up if you make the effort and keep them in your mind to do them every time. Like, there would probably be a chance to do a 3-second optimization, I'm going to say every 2 minutes in a run. And that means, you know, over the course of a 120-minute run, that's like 3 minutes saved. And since he beats this world record by, what was it? It was 136 before, and he beats it by 11 minutes. That's a good third of the time save he finds, is just thinking through doing those optimizations every time he can. So, Diablo, this is why you want that skill shrine, or why you want a fire shrine, because the kill on Diablo, he's just got such huge health. Like, while the assassin is OP, she still takes a long time to get through Big D, that's for sure. So here we go. He's got the appropriate trap laying strategy down. He's honestly doing much better than Nightfall was doing. Like, Nightfall improved a lot in the world record we watched previously, but there you go. He's throwing maximum, or laying maximum 3 fire traps. Grabs the breastplate instead of the field plate. What are you doing, man? Anyway, never mind. I keep saying this to every single armor he doesn't pick up. So he's dropping...
Holy shit.
That would have been an amazing circlet on a Hell Sorceress run, that's for darn sure. So he's dropping 2 Wake of Fire traps, maybe 3, and then throwing Fire Blast. So it just keeps that damage per second hitting. Because while you can lay 5 Wake of Fires, there's an actual hit delay between every single one. So once an enemy gets hit by a Wake of Fire, there's a hit delay, so it can't get hit again for, I think it's about another second, basically. So laying more traps isn't really helping you, especially when you're just doing single target damage. Now, it helps for like area of effect if Diablo runs out of the way, but generally you just want to lay 2 down so you've got good area coverage, and then be hitting him with Fire Blast to just keep that damage per second going, and then laying a couple more to make sure that there's more there when the others die, basically, when they stop working, when they've used all
My
their
hands are
Wake of Fire
freezing,
charges.
damn it! Getting nervous.
Oh, classic Teo. Classic Teo. I guess Germany gets pretty cold, so I can't judge him for that. I'm here, not even in a jumper in Australia in winter, so, you know, we're alright. So, Act 5 is where, you know, the runners are feeling the most pressure, but it's actually the downhill run. I don't have much to say as a commentator. It's just a matter of weaving through the enemies, finding the right paths on the maps, and minimizing the chance to get blocked, and then running through. Is he going to kill Shank? No, he doesn't. He did buy potions from Mala earlier, and if you looked at that, you would have seen they were 500. Grabs the waypoint for safety.
Holy shit, that run.
He's 9 minutes ahead of the world record at this minute, and you know what, I cannot blame him for feeling the pressure. Runs all the way to the side, and that's wasted a little bit of time for him, but yeah, and he's not even on the good side here. Like, you want to be running along the cliff edge because that has the least blocks, where he's running along the wall edge along here, and that has more gates in the way. It's still not as bad as running through the middle, which has lots of multi-layered gates. So you want to run along the edges of the Frigid Highlands and the Tamo Highlands in general, and whatever it is, the next one before the Ancient's Way. I always forget it. Frozen Tundra. He's not going to be doing the Barb's Quest because he's not level 21, so not going to be able to use Ancient's Pledge anyway. And it's just a waste of time. For a normal run, for a Hell run, you normally would do it because you need your resistances for Nightmare and Hell, but for a normal run, you're just ending it after you kill Bale, so you're not going to worry about the Ancient Barb Quest. Once again, hits the wall. Fortunately, he was actually pretty close to the wall that time, so that's not a huge time loss at all.
These guys
Getting blocked. Eesh, and this is why it's so great to have that +3 to fire skills on your staff, as well as just having great damage naturally on the assassin, because even if you get blocked, you know you're not going to be blocked for too long. You just got to stay alive while you get through it.
You should see my hands shaking right now.
It's feeling the pressure.
Shit, they are shaking indeed.
This is it's an amazing run. I think it's only, what's this, 125, so right now I think the assassin world record stands at 119.
God.
But it took a lot to get there. It took a lot of grinding, etc. Is Cursed runs immediately into Moonlords, and that's not great. Here we go, we're in the caves. I can talk about maps again, that gives me something to talk about. So you can see he's forced to run out of this tile that way. It's a left turn. He's going to hope for a quick left here. This looks like it could be the exit, and it is. Nice, left turn here. Same thing with the Glacial Trail. We got
a waypoint. I will take this just in case.
Left turn here. He thinks that that area there is a waypoint, so he's going to run around to that just for safety. He really wants to lock in this world record. So he basically got the second fastest you can get in that first cave.
Yeah. Nice.
There you go. Grabs his safety waypoint. He can breathe slightly easier and gets hit
These guys
with the cold damage and slows him down. Running on out. Hits a dead end, but fortunately had dragged the unique pack away. And
I love to take a sip of my tea right now.
Oh yeah, this is offsetting the short cave he had earlier. That was quite a long way.
But whatever.
It wasn't the worst. We've seen worse in some of these runs. I think Lav's early records and Nightfall's first record had pretty bad caves, but these are pretty kind to him in general. Like, it hurt a bit with that boss pack. The first one was amazing though. Like, second fastest possible layout.
My whole body is shaking at the moment.
Once again, you can see here he's running along the edge of the Frozen Tundra just to minimize the multi-layer blocks he gets. And he is freaking out about how good his run is right now.
Please stop doing this, doors.
It's fun seeing him so excited.
I'm level 20.
You never get that from Teo these days. He's just angry Teo. So this way, he runs out there. Once again, left turn on the map. I don't know why he bothered grabbing that shrine. Grabs some potions from Melee. He's got 90k, so it doesn't really need to optimize for potions by going back to Act 4. That's more of a sorceress thing, where she's just chugging through potions with her teleport. How's the fire resistance going to be? They are all taking damage, but we saw Nightfall on the previous record get burned by that because they were all taking damage. He did the check earlier, but then it turned out that Talik was super resistant to fire, probably had about 70 to 90% fire resistance, and it still took a long time. So anyway, he's just running around the center here until Maddock's dead, and now he will run up. Yep, he's doing the strategy to run all the way up to the stairs up here, because when he stands on the stairs, Talik will no longer whirlwind him. They will both come in and just melee damage. So all he has to do is tank the hits while he casts spells. So now he's got Wake of Fire going, and he can switch to Fire Blast and be damaging them both at the same time while that Wake of Fire goes off. So, yeah, okay, they're both taking damage at a pretty good pace. It looks like he's not going to get stuffed over like Nightfall was yesterday. He hasn't gone as heavy a damage build as Nightfall went. He's gone for the extra investment in burst of speed. So it's going to take him a little bit of extra time on the Ancient's kill, but he'll get it. Of course. We know he's going to get it because this is a world record run. But, you know, you would get it as a regular runner. So there you go. He's getting through both their health pretty much equally. Talik might take a couple of seconds longer, but just burning through him. So this way he's not getting leap attacked, he's not getting whirlwinded. He just needs to be able to tank melee hits, and that is very nice. So he's got 13 points now, effectively, in Wake of Fire. Pretty handy. And here we go, just humming through. We're in the Worldstone Keep. No particular way to run this. It does give you great hints. That's not bad. It's pretty quick. Level 1, not the quickest it could be, but in the scheme of things, pretty quick. Level 2, once again, exactly the same as Catacombs, exactly the same as Sewers in Act 3. You want to run it clockwise because you can run into the waypoint and it's a right turn from the waypoint. Is he going to get the waypoint this time? He didn't do the TP check and just lucks out without dropping the TP, gets the exit first time. Drops the safety town portal. Smart move. Especially with Deathlords around. And here we go. That's actually a pretty... That's a pretty quick Worldstone Keep, I gotta say. So... lures them down. Did get hit, so they had some frenzy charges. Gets a bit of distance now. We'll drop some Wake of Fires. Here we go, just to clear the ones who are chasing him. Because he's going to be doing some wave drags here. So... just got to clear the throne room, and he'll probably want to clear the exit a little bit as well. There we go. Unfortunately, lures a harpy back in with him. He'll come in and resurrect his mercenary, because just like Grand Vizier of Chaos, Colenso the Annihilator is actually immune to fire as well. So he will want to get that. He must have pretty good cold resistance as well. I haven't been looking at his stat screen, but he's got cold res on that belt. He's just chugged a thawing potion. He's going to be sweet. So Colenso the Annihilator is immune to fire, so he needs his mercenary here. So he'll kill all the minions and then get face to face with Colenso.
Come on, hit him.
Just so Colenso starts melee attacking him rather than spending his time resurrecting those guys.
Merc, do what you are supposed to do.
And he's just laying the traps just in case Colenso resurrects any of the minions. So there we go. That was, in the scheme of things, pretty quick.
Don't forget that later.
Drops all his gold because he's going to use death strats. And you'll see what those are when it comes up. Essentially, he's going to be luring out the waves. Waves 4 and 5, presumably. Where am I? So if I'm here, past this line on that map overall, once the monsters get out of there, they're as good as dead to Bale. Like, Bale just doesn't act as if they exist anymore. He treats them as if you actually killed them. So as long as you don't accidentally lure them back in past that line, you don't have to, like, Bale will spawn the next wave and you can keep progressing through the game. So here we go. Killing Bartok. It's just taken a long time. Fortunately, he didn't cast any more Hydras, so that's pretty good. Oftentimes you end up killing wave 3. There we go. So he'll be luring these guys out. You can see that set of 4 torches. He's trying to lure them past there because that's the end of Bale's line of sight, basically. And lure them down into this little area here and will let himself die. So he dropped all his gear back there. And we'll drop a town portal right next to his body. And then do this exact same thing with the Minions of Destruction wave. So this is the last wave. Just needs to make sure he's got the boss of them following, wherever Lister is. Needs to stay alive just long enough to make sure they're all a good distance from there. Bunches them up in the corner so they're not likely to walk out, or at least a good distance from the door. Now when he takes his town portal back, they won't see him, they won't follow him in. He'll grab his gold, grab that ring. Will he grab the scale mail for extra gold? No, he won't, because he never picks up armor, because that's just not what Teo does, apparently. And here we go. Down to the Bale fight, gets a clone early. That is not ideal, but here we go. It's going to be about a 4-minute fight on Bale. It's normally what you expect, 3 to 4. So it's just a matter of, yep, perfect. Toss a couple of Wake of Fires, get to an edge so when you get hit by Bale's Wake of Cold, you do not get pushed around too much and take multiple hits and, you know, die. And then throw Fire Blasts in between. And that's it. You just got to maximize your damage per second. So what were the first we saw in this? It was the first time we saw someone actually pick up the Herodric Malice, but he never actually used it. Okay. There was another first I saw as well.
Stop, man, please.
I can't remember what it was at this point. I mean, he actually got the Rel runes in his helm. That helped a lot. Had pretty good gear overall. I mean, yeah. I think the things that defined this run and would have intimidated a lot of people were the huge shrine luck. It took him, what, 6 runs of the Countess to get the runes, though? That hurts. And the map luck. Like First Way Arcane and that massive XP shrine luck would have off-put a lot of people in terms of trying to tackle this and beat that time. So, just coming out. What do we got? A minute left. He's actually pretty close to his Sum of Best Segments time as well. Like, he's got gold splits on everything except his Act 3. And that Act 3 is probably due to the fact that he had to explore multiple areas off the jungles in order to get the dungeons that he needed.
125. This is one hell of a nice one.
Oh yeah, big time. Extremely nice run. Yeah. And with all my complaints of him not picking up heavy armors, still had an incredibly high amount of gold. Like, he's still got 30k left right now. All right. I'm struggling to remember what that other first thing he did was. I'm going to have to muse on that and try and make the notes to myself after this run, because I'm trying to keep detailed notes on, you know, what were the big strategy changes in here. Still played incredibly well, managed his casting incredibly well and his mana. Higher investment in burst of speed, he had 5 points in that, again, exactly the same as his previous world record. Relatively kind maps overall. Yeah. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Gets a gold split again in Act 5. What a record. What a record. This is one that will stand the test of time for another 3.5 years after he set it back in 2015.
Holy
what a
shit.
huge one. There we go. What a run. What a run.
Holy crap.
So I hope you enjoyed that one, folks. That was a great installment. This is going to be the last of the assassin runs, so I'm looking forward to the next time when we see you on this commentary series of fastest ever normal Baal kills in Players 1 Diablo 2. Bye!